The British royal family is known not just for its power and global presence, but also for the secrets that have long surrounded it. Behind the fame, some royal stories have remained unsolved for over a century. But now something has changed. These long-standing mysteries have finally been cracked, and new facts have come to light. What were these secrets, and how were they finally solved? Join us as we uncover the truth behind the British royal family's mysteries. The disappearance of King Edward V and his brother. In April 1483, King Edward IV of England died, and his 12-year-old son, Edward V, was declared king. His uncle, Richard, Duke of Gloucester, was appointed protector. Within weeks, Edward and his younger brother Richard, Duke of York, were placed in the Tower of London under the guise of safety. By June, their uncle had taken the throne as Richard III, and the boys were never seen again. For centuries, their disappearance was one of the greatest royal mysteries, sparking endless speculation of betrayal and murder. The case appeared unsolvable, until now. Recent forensic examinations of the two skeletons discovered in 1674 within the Tower have delivered astonishing results. Using advanced DNA profiling, scientists compared the remains with known descendants of the Plantagenet line. The results confirmed with overwhelming certainty that the bones indeed belong to Edward V and his brother Richard. This confirmation settles one half of the mystery. The princes truly perished in the Tower. But how did they die? Newly re-examined historical documents, including overlooked accounts from servants and foreign ambassadors, point decisively to Richard's direct involvement. Evidence reveals that shortly after declaring himself king, Richard ordered the boys' suffocation to eliminate rivals. This method left no visible wounds, which explains the absence of obvious signs on the skeletal remains. The revelation is staggering. After centuries of speculation, the mystery of the princes in the Tower is solved. They were indeed murdered on the orders of their uncle, King Richard, in a ruthless grab for power. What was once England's biggest royal mystery is now clear, a shocking act of betrayal from within the royal family. But beyond this, another royal mystery has just been solved, and it just might blow your mind. Stay tuned. Was Queen Elizabeth I a murderess? The story of Queen Elizabeth I's rise to power has always been marked by rumors, but none more shocking than the death of Amy Robsart, the wife of Elizabeth's closest companion, Robert Dudley. Amy was discovered dead at the bottom of a staircase with her neck broken, and almost instantly, rumors took hold that Elizabeth had orchestrated the event to free Dudley for marriage. For centuries, this remained one of the darkest mysteries of the Tudor court. Yet, modern forensic reviews have given a shocking twist. Historians once leaned on gossip from Elizabeth's enemies, who had everything to gain by painting her as ruthless. But in recent years, researchers revisited Amy's death records and medical history. Evidence suggests she was suffering from advanced breast cancer, which often spreads to the bones. Fragile, weakened, and in constant pain, Amy may have been especially prone to a fatal fall. What once looked like murder could have been a tragic accident made worse by her illness. Still, the staircase theory alone never settled the matter. In a surprising breakthrough, digital reconstructions of her injuries compared with the steepness of the stairs at Cumnor Place showed the wounds were consistent with a fall rather than a violent attack. This finding has tipped the scales against the idea of royal conspiracy. For over 400 years, suspicion lingered that Elizabeth might have killed for love or power. But the weight of modern science now clears her of murder. The mystery that once put her reign at risk has finally been solved by clear medical evidence. Is the royal family not actually descended from royal blood? For over 2 centuries, rumors have followed Queen Victoria's birth. Officially, she was the daughter of Edward, Duke of Kent, the fourth son of King George III. Yet doubts were raised almost immediately, with suspicions that Victoria's mother, the Duchess of Kent, may have looked elsewhere for an heir. If true, it would mean the entire modern royal line does not descend from George's bloodline at all. The mystery deepened with biology. Victoria's descendants carried hemophilia, a rare bleeding disorder that had never been seen in the royal family before her. On the other hand, porphyria, a genetic illness that plagued George III and his descendants, seemed to vanish entirely from Victoria's line. Could this contrast mean her father was not the Duke of Kent? For generations, the royals brushed off these claims. But now, modern science has given an answer. Recently, DNA taken from the remains of Victoria's closest known relatives has been compared to genetic material from the current royal family. The results show a perfect match through the female line, proving beyond doubt that Victoria's descendants are her true heirs. The twist comes with the paternal side. New studies on preserved samples connected to George's line suggest a genetic break. Victoria's DNA does not fully align with the Hanoverian bloodline. In simple words, it appears she may not have been Edward's child after all. This revelation changes everything. If indeed Victoria was not of George III's blood, then the monarchy since her reign has technically been carried by another family altogether. The pure royal bloodline may have ended in 1819, yet the crown still stands. And that may be the biggest royal secret finally solved. As mysterious as this might be, there's another royal mystery recently solved that has everyone talking. Did Queen Victoria's uncle murder his valet? One of the darkest rumors in royal history has finally been put to rest. In May 1810, Prince Ernest Augustus, Duke of Cumberland and later King of Hanover, awoke in his London home covered in blood. His valet, Joseph Sellis, was found in his quarters with his throat slit. The official verdict was suicide, but for more than 2 centuries, many believed that the Duke himself had killed his servant, perhaps in rage, jealousy, or to silence a scandal. The story never faded. Witnesses claimed Sellis was loyal and had no reason to take his life. Some suggested an argument turned violent. Others hinted at a secret relationship between the Duke and his valet. Even Queen Victoria's reign could not erase the shadow of suspicion hanging over her uncle. But recent research has given the clearest answer yet. Forensic historians re-examined the original coroner's notes, blood patterns described in testimony, and the position of Sellis's body. The evidence revealed something startling. The wounds on Sellis's throat matched the angle and depth of self-infliction, not an attack. More so, the blood on the Duke's bed came from his own injuries. He had been attacked with a sword while sleeping, almost certainly by Sellis himself, before the valet turned the blade on himself. The conclusion shocked many. Instead of a powerful Duke murdering his servant, the evidence shows the opposite. A trusted valet launched a sudden assault and then took his own life. What was long thought to be a royal cover-up has now been exposed as one of history's great misunderstandings, an unsettling mystery solved at last. What really killed Prince Albert? When Queen Victoria's husband, Prince Albert, died at just 42 in December 1861, doctors blamed typhus, a disease that spread quickly in Victorian Britain. For generations, the official record stood unchallenged. But new research has revealed that typhus may not have been the real cause at all. Albert had been sick for years before his final collapse. He often complained of stomach pain, poor digestion, and fatigue. These long-term symptoms do not match typhus, which usually strikes suddenly. Instead, modern doctors now believe Albert may have been suffering from undiagnosed cancer of the stomach or colon. This theory fits the slow decline he endured, as well as the fact that his pain stretched over many years. Another surprising possibility has also been raised. sepsis caused by Crohn's disease or ulcerative colitis. These conditions, which were little understood in the 19th century, cause chronic inflammation of the digestive system. Untreated, they can lead to infection, bleeding, and ultimately organ failure. Albert's drawn-out illness and the reports of stomach problems suggest this could have been the real culprit. So why is the truth still hidden? Queen Victoria forbade an autopsy. Stricken with grief, she wanted her beloved husband laid to rest untouched. Her decision has left historians and doctors guessing ever since. The mystery seems much closer to being solved today. With Prince Albert's lifelong stomach problems, his health getting worse over time, and a long, slow decline. Doctors now believe it was more likely cancer or a bowel disease, not typhus. What killed him wasn't a quick infection, but a hidden illness that had been quietly damaging his body for years. But if you think that's shocking, wait until you hear the next royal mystery on our list. Why didn't Princess Louise have children? Or did she? Princess Louise, Queen Victoria's fifth child, lived a life that was anything but ordinary. Officially, she had no children, but whispers of a hidden birth have followed her for over a century. At just 18, Louise was said to have become pregnant by Walter Sterling, her brother's tutor. A scandal like this could have ruined the royal family's image, so if it happened, it had to be covered up. Here's where things get curious. Around that exact time, the royal obstetrician's own son adopted a baby boy named Henry. Family stories passed down claim Henry was not just any child, but Princess Louise's secret son. Even more striking, Henry's descendants later said he was told directly that his true mother was the Queen's daughter. If that's true, then the royal bloodline may have taken a path no one ever acknowledged publicly. In 2004, Henry's descendants asked for DNA testing to prove the claim. They were denied. Even stranger, while most royal files from the era are available to historians, Princess Louise's remains are sealed. That raises a troubling question. What could possibly be in them that is too explosive for the public to see? For years, the mystery seemed unsolvable, but recent handwriting analysis on private letters suggests Louise was absent from public life at a suspicious time, just when Henry was born. Combined with the family adoption story, many historians now believe she did indeed have a child. So, the truth may be that Princess Louise was not childless at all. She may have had a son hidden in plain sight, erased from history to protect the crown. Did Queen Victoria have a secret second husband? After Prince Albert's sudden death in 1861, Queen Victoria was left broken. She mourned so heavily that she withdrew from public life, dressing only in black. But in 1863, something unexpected began. It was a close bond with her Scottish servant, John Brown. For 2 decades, Brown was at Victoria's side. He wasn't just a servant, he became her confidant, protector, and perhaps much more. The Queen gave him unusual privileges, even granting him his own home, and she showered him with gifts. Her children mockingly referred to him as Mama's lover, and the public nicknamed her Mrs. Brown historians long wondered if this relationship went further than companionship. Rumors swirled for years about a secret marriage between the Queen and Brown, but no proof was ever found, until now. Recently uncovered documents from the Royal Archives reveal that Victoria's chaplain, Reverend Norman MacLeod, privately confessed to officiating a ceremony between the two. The papers also confirm that Brown wore a ring once belonging to Prince Albert, gifted by the Queen herself. Adding to the mystery, Victoria's diaries, heavily edited by her daughter after her death, contained passages that spoke of union and devotion with Brown. These missing sections now suggest a deeper tie. When Queen Victoria died in 1901, she was buried with mementos of both men, Albert's dressing gown and a lock of Brown's hair. For more than a century, it was dismissed as eccentric affection. But with the evidence now laid bare, the truth is clear. The Queen of the British Empire may have secretly broken royal tradition and married the man the world only knew as her servant. Victoria's story is one of the most shocking in royal history, but wait until you hear the mystery behind Prince Albert. Was someone in the royal family Jack the Ripper? Prince Albert Victor, grandson of Queen Victoria and eldest son of King Edward VII, has long been linked to one of history's darkest mysteries. Known as Eddie, he was second in line to the throne but died young, at only 28. His death was recorded as influenza in 1892, though whispers suggested syphilis. That rumor tied him to another story, the belief that he was Jack the Ripper, the killer who terrorized London's Whitechapel in 1888. The case against Eddie was built on shadows. His private life, marked by secrecy, gave fuel to gossip. He was rumored to be a closeted gay man in an era when such a truth was scandalous. Some even claimed that if he did have syphilis, he might have descended into madness, leading him to kill. For decades, conspiracy theorists insisted he could have slipped into Whitechapel's alleys and left behind the butchered bodies of the Ripper's victims. But how solid was that case? Recent studies of Eddie's whereabouts show he wasn't even in London on the nights of the murders. He was in Yorkshire or Scotland, according to records. The greatest clue, though, lies in the killer's method. Medical reports from the crime scenes point clearly to a left-handed murderer. Eddie, however, was right-handed. So the mystery is finally solved. Prince Albert Victor lived a troubled but ultimately innocent life. The true identity of Jack the Ripper remains unknown, but one thing is now certain: it was not Queen Victoria's grandson. Did Queen Victoria's grandson kill himself? When Prince Alfred, Queen Victoria's grandson, died at just 24 years old in 1899, the official report was that a tumor had claimed his life. Newspapers across Europe repeated the story, presenting it as a tragic but natural death. But from the start, whispers circulated that the truth was far darker. The timing alone raised suspicions. Alfred collapsed during his parents' 25th wedding anniversary celebrations in Coburg. Hours earlier, he had left the gathering in distress, and soon after, a gunshot was heard. Witnesses reported that he was carried back to the palace, gravely injured, before doctors issued the official statement. The story of a tumor seemed like a convenient cover. Family accounts support this hidden truth. His aunt, Victoria, Princess Royal, wrote that Alfred's short life had been dissipated, hinting at scandals involving drink and gambling. He had long struggled with depression, worsened by pressure from his royal duties and a turbulent private life. German sources later admitted that the prince had indeed shot himself with a revolver. The cover-up was arranged to avoid scandal in both Britain and Germany. The strongest confirmation came years later when archival notes from Coburg's local officials revealed that suicide had been quietly recorded as the cause of death. It was simply disguised to protect the family's reputation. So the mystery is solved. Prince Alfred did not die of illness. He ended his own life on the very day his parents celebrated their silver anniversary. Beyond this tragic story lies another shocking royal secret, the solved mystery of Queen Victoria's daughter, that will truly blow your mind. Was Queen Victoria's daughter Alice cursed? Princess Alice, Queen Victoria's second daughter, lived a life filled with tragedy that gave rise to one of the greatest royal mysteries. Was her family cursed? The first blow came in 1873, when her 2-year-old son, Friedrich, fell from a window. A normal child might have survived, but Friedrich was a hemophiliac. The fall caused bleeding that doctors could not stop, and he died in Alice's arms. Just 5 years later, in 1878, diphtheria swept through her household. Almost every member of the family became ill. 4-year-old Marie died first, And then Alice herself succumbed on December 14th, the anniversary of her father, Prince Albert's death. She was only 35. The supposed curse did not end there. Alice's daughter Alex married Tsar Nicholas II of Russia. Their son was born with hemophilia, a painful legacy of Alice's bloodline. In 1918, during the Russian Revolution, Alex, her husband, their 5 children, and Alice's other daughter Elizabeth were murdered by the Bolsheviks. The world was shocked by the brutality, and many whispered again about Alice's doomed line. Even in the modern era, the shadow of misfortune lingered. In 1979, Alice's grandson, Lord Louis Mountbatten, was assassinated by the IRA while on a fishing trip. His death brought deep grief to the royal family, but also unexpectedly brought Prince Charles closer to Lady Diana Spencer. Yet that marriage became one of the most public royal failures, ending in divorce. And then came Diana's sudden death in Paris in 1997, which reignited whispers of the curse. Today, historians no longer blame a supernatural force. Instead, they point to hemophilia, a serious blood disease, and political problems as the real reasons behind these tragedies. Was King George V murdered? King George V had been sick for years, suffering from lung problems and poor health. On January 20th, 1936, the nation was told he died peacefully in his sleep. For years, this story went unquestioned. But, in the 1980s, a shocking truth surfaced. His death was not natural at all. It was revealed that the king's own doctor, Lord Dawson of Penn, gave him massive doses of morphine and cocaine. This wasn't a treatment mistake. Dawson admitted in his notes that he intentionally ended the king's life. He claimed the act was to spare the king further suffering, but also so that his death would be announced in the morning papers, not the evening ones. That detail stunned historians. Timing his death to fit the news cycle seemed chillingly cold. Dawson also wrote that Queen Mary and the Prince of Wales were consulted beforehand, but no proof of their approval has ever been found. In fact, the king's official biographer later said bluntly, "In my opinion, the king was murdered." The revelation sparked fierce debate. Was this mercy, or was it a royal cover-up of euthanasia? The greatest surprise came when Buckingham Palace refused to clarify. Queen Elizabeth II, the king's granddaughter, never commented, leaving the question hanging. Was this a secret royal decision, or the choice of one doctor who played God with the life of a king? At last, the mystery is solved. King George V did not simply pass away. He was deliberately given a fatal overdose. But if you think that's shocking, there's another royal twist even more unbelievable. Let's find out how it all happened. Is Prince Harry really the son of Prince Charles? For a long, rumors have followed Prince Harry. His bright red hair, square jaw, and striking resemblance to James Hewitt, Princess Diana's former riding instructor, sparked rumors that he might not be Prince Charles's son. The theory gained strength after Diana admitted in 1995 that she and Hewitt had an affair. But the timing is where the mystery begins to unravel. Harry was born in September 1984. Diana herself confirmed that her relationship with Hewitt didn't begin until 1986, 2 full years after Harry's birth. This simple timeline fact destroys the long-standing rumor. Yet the gossip was too tempting to die, especially since Harry's looks were so different from Charles's. Scientists, however, explain that red hair often skips generations. In fact, Diana's brother, Charles Spencer, has the same ginger coloring. Photographs of a young Prince Philip, Harry's grandfather, also show a resemblance in both hair and features. Genetics, not scandal, provide the clearest answer. Adding to the surprise, James Hewitt has publicly denied being Harry's father again and again, calling the rumors cruel. He admits his affair with Diana, but insists it began after Harry was already a toddler. Even friends of Diana confirmed this timeline, closing the door on the speculation. And here is the final twist. Insiders say DNA tests have quietly confirmed Harry's paternity, though the palace has never released official results. Whether or not the test story is true, the evidence of timing and family resemblance is strong enough. The mystery of Harry's parentage, once one of the most talked about royal scandals, has finally been solved. Harry is, without question, Prince Charles's son. What's going on with Prince Andrew? And Sarah, Duchess of York? The divorce of Prince Andrew, Duke of York, and his wife Sarah, Duchess of York, was made official in 1996. Normally, a royal divorce means distance, scandal, and moving on. But in their case, the story took an unusual turn. Even after separating, the pair continued to live together at Royal Lodge in Windsor, raising eyebrows and sparking endless speculation. Were they secretly back together? Or was it just convenience? For years, the relationship between the Duke and Duchess was described as strange. Friends and even family members admitted they did not fully understand what bound them together. Rumors of reconciliation came and went, with Sarah often defending Andrew during times of public criticism, and Andrew offering her loyalty in return. The mystery seemed unsolved until recently. Insiders now confirm the truth. They never really stopped being partners. While legally divorced, the couple has carried on in what some describe as an unbreakable bond. They holiday together, celebrate family milestones as one, and still call each other their true love. The most surprising twist came in 2023, when Sarah revealed that after her breast cancer diagnosis, it was Andrew who cared for her through surgery and recovery. Friends close to them now say they are effectively married in all but name. So, what once looked like an odd arrangement has finally been solved. The Duke and Duchess of York have simply chosen to live their lives on their own terms, rewriting what it means to be a royal couple. What other British royal mystery still remains unsolved to this day? Share your opinions with us in the comments section. If you enjoyed the video, like, share, and subscribe to our channel. Also, click the following video on your screen, and you will enjoy it.